Well, hello again, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Sports-O-Mania Plus. One half of the host is here. I'm Marcus. Unfortunately, Freddy won't be able to make it today on a big week. He just moved to North Carolina. He's getting settled in. His house is getting redone. So I found somebody to fill the void for him. But he sent me his picks for week 1 of college football. I'm going to share later. But welcome to the show. Bakley, what's going on? Also part of the Game Breaker Sports Network as well.
Yeah, man. Congrats to Freddy on his house. You know, that's a lot to deal with. So, yeah, good for him to take time out to get everything settled with that.
I can barely keep up with what you do. I mean, I know you don't have Cage My IQ anymore. Do you still have Wrestler Brothers podcast?
That's on hiatus. I still have Cage My IQ around. I got some side things that I'm going to be doing with that in the future. Just waiting a little bit, you know. Right now, just doing the NXT watch-alongs with Justin. I got dojo debates with Ivan. And then, of course, we just started Premier League. So we got the picks with me, Dylan, and apparently you now.
Yeah, I was supposed to be in this week. I didn't get nothing yet, unless there's no matchups today or tomorrow.
I think they're Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah. Well, good news is I won't have to get up at like 6 a.m. to watch any clubs that day. I think the only team I got playing Saturday, unfortunately won't be able to watch because I'll be at work, is Barcelona. I think they play at noon. But Sunday, I got Celtic and Manchester United both playing rivalry games this weekend. We'll talk about later. Eli already tuned in. Yeah, the Minnesota-North Carolina game was on rain delay. I'm flipping back and forth with that, and
that was crazy. Colorado. They showed it as like a replay. The storm that they have, it's cleared up now, but that was crazy.
What's up,
luckily they're able to get in and play right now.
Yeah. I wanted to bring this up. This was breaking news 3 hours ago. I think finally, because he was picked up in the fantasy drafts around. Brandon Ayuk of the 49ers reached an agreement on a 4-year deal worth $120 million. I had a feeling he was going to stay, but I didn't know.
Yeah, me too, because they've been talking this whole time how it wasn't a holdout. It was like a hold in because he wanted to kind of stay. He just wanted the money, and I guess he caved because they just said that the offer has been the same one that they offered the beginning of August, which is $30 million a year for 4 years. And I guess they both just finally came to agreement on him signing it. So yeah, I always hate when they sign late in training camp because you don't get the training camp in, but at least they'll have him signed now. So it's a big hurdle considering that next year they're going to have to sign Purdy.
Yeah. Well, I might as well stay on the NFL talk. We can get this shit show out of the way, but thank you, Jesus. The preseason's finally over. I can say the Saints went 1-2. I think they should have went 2-1 at least. Your Eagles did good 2-1 in the preseason, but I was shocked about there was quite a bit of teams that went undefeated besides the Chicago Bears. Like they had the 4-0 record there. They're going around saying they're going to win the Super Bowl. Yeah, but we don't know that.
It was perfect. It was perfect for Hard Knocks. Game ratings with them being 4-0.
But the Jets went 3 undefeated in preseason. That's showing something, but which despite Aaron Rodgers taking a few snaps or not. But I think what's funny, okay, so the AFC East, This is just the preseason overall record. Jets undefeated 3-0, Dolphins 2-1, Patriots and the Bills tie 1-2. The AFC North, good God, the Ravens went 1-2, and Bengals, Browns, and the Steelers all went winless in the preseason. I don't give a fuck. There's a 3-way tie at first in the AFC South with the preseason. The Jags and the Tennessee Titans went 3-0. Texans went 3-1. If they would have got to finish that Hall of Fame game, they would have went 4-0. They stopped it, so that counted as a loss for them. But it's preseason; no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
And the Colts are 2-1. AFC West, Broncos went undefeated 3-0. So that's making me wonder how Bo Nix is going to be in his rookie season. Chargers 1-2. Raiders and the Chiefs both went winless. Actually, the Raiders also had a tie, so they went 0-2-1. They had a tie along with the 49ers. So, meanwhile, in the NFC East, Eagles went 2-1, and then a 3-way tie at 1-2 with the Giants, Commanders, and the Cowboys. You got anything you want to share about the Eagles preseason, or you didn't really follow it too much?
I liked the change that Sirianni made with training camp and preseason, because even though we didn't play that many starters, they ramped up the offensive reps this year. So Hurts took more snaps. It was more efficient. We made a lot of changes, so he needed to get them there. And he's taking more of a leadership role. Like, of course, Kelsey was the guy that would handle motions, handle everything at the line, and now it's going to be Hurts. Hurts is controlling everything. He only had one interception all training camp, and that was the last day that he got picked off by, I think, Slay. But I'm of the notion now that it's all about, like, the preseason is just for, like, rookies and guys fighting for a spot. I'm more about the scrimmages, the inter squad games that they do during the week where they go to another team. I'm all about that, because that's what the NFL is leaning towards now. Like, next year, I believe they're going to 18 games and only 2 preseason games. So it's like the grand scheme of things is changing. So just like you said, no matter what your standings are in the preseason, I don't look at it as much. I look at it as just to see how the rookies and young guys are evolving from the year before.
I'll tell you one thing. This is how much I fucking hate Saints preseason football. The only game they won, I was on a movie date with now fucking my ex now. Deadpool and Wolverine, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. We had a wonderful time with our matching shirts. But every time I watch these motherfuckers, in preseason, they always lose. And of course, they lost to the 49ers. Like, and I said, this is why I don't fucking watch Saints preseason. I didn't even get to see. I couldn't even get. Oh God, I can't even get to see him kick ass. Like, what the hell?
It was kind of surreal seeing Jeremiah Trotter's son in an Eagles uniform playing during the preseason, because it's like, growing up, I saw Trotter, and now it's to the point where now his son's there and he's showcasing like similar skills. And I'm like, geez, I just hope he lives up to his father's hype.
Well, Derek Carr playing like shit didn't surprise me. But the fact that Spencer Rattler, the 2 games I don't watch, he has an outstanding game. But the second I watch him in preseason, he throws a fucking interception, fumbles the ball, and then Jared Goff wasn't shit. Hayner wasn't shit. Taysom Hill wasn't shit. I was like, I can't wait for the real shit to start. Well, the only good news is Spencer Rattler got moved up to second string. So if Carr fucks up, he could get taken out a time or 2. Or if he ever gets hurt, Rattler's going in.
How do you feel about him right now? Like, I know, like, he's a rookie and all, young guy. But how do you feel about him right now? Do you think he's progressed from the start of training camp to now, or do you think it's going to take time?
It might take a little time. Like, I'll give Derek Carr 1 more year. Which we already know we're going to have a shitty season again, but if he makes it worse than it was last year, then I'd say bench him, put Spencer Rattler QB1, or trade Derek Carr. We got to get rid of Dennis Allen first. We're not going to win shit with Dennis Allen.
I think with how the division is, and with the weapons we have, say you guys are like 2-4 or something by week 6. I think you could see a change if Derek Carr's not living up to, of course, the contract that he got, because they kind of had to keep him this year. But it was good that you picked up Rattler, because you have a guy in the wings that you can kind of groom.
I love Spencer Rattler. I watched his QB1 on Netflix, and he was fantastic. I didn't care for him at Oklahoma, but when he transferred to South Carolina, I watched him more, and I was like, oh, good, he's in the SEC. Yeah. I watched him a lot more. I got to watch him upset Tennessee last season, that was a great game he did. But NFC, Bears and the Vikings both went undefeated. Yeah. Packers and the Lions both went 2-1. NFC South, Tampa Bay went 2-1. Saints and the Panthers tie 1-2. Falcons went winless. And then the NFC West, Rams and the Seahawks tied at first 2-1. 49ers went 1-1, and the Cardinals went winless. So week 1 is next week. It's going to start the same week high school football starts down here. See, back in the day, this would have been week 1. But it's Jamboree week this week instead, and week 1 will be after Labor Day. So,
yeah, our high school started this week.
So did Texas. I know Texas started this week.
Yeah, it started this week. And, of course, like you said, football week 1's next week. And, of course, we don't even play in the country on Friday.
Well, after this show's over, I got to get my depth chart. I got to get my depth chart ready for tomorrow. So I'll be on the sideline starting tomorrow. Last week we were on the field for a scrimmage. Now I'm going to be on the sideline starting tomorrow. So,
yeah, they just had a thing out where they interviewed A.J. Brown. Apparently, you can't have your phone on the streets in Brazil next week. So he was like, looks like I'm going to be hanging out in my room the whole time, except for when we play the game Friday. So it's like there's like that. This whole thing with Brazil to me is crazy. Like, I hope they can wear the color green still. I hope they can do that.
Well, they better fucking do their research, and then next year if they go back, they might pick teams that don't have green. Like,
exactly.
I was thinking the Eagles were going to do the blackout, the black helmet, all black look, and the Packers were going to do that all white that they're going to wear against the Texans week 8. But that's all I got in the NFL. Since Eli commented this, I'm going to this next. Keanu Reeves' shadow is great. Still waiting on Robo-Sonic. I think we're going to get some surprises. Like, they just revealed the first trailer on Tuesday. Finally, we've been waiting for a fucking Sonic the Hedgehog 3 trailer. It was fantastic. Keanu Reeves' shadow is going to be kick-ass. I think we're going to get some more Easter egg surprises. I mean, if this is going to be the final Sonic movie, where's Rouge the Bat? Where's Amy? Where's Metal Sonic? You got to feature those guys.
How was the Knuckles, the show that they had on Paramount?
Do you want me to be honest with you? It wasn't good. They didn't even focus on him. They focused on that fucking cop that he was hanging out with. And the villain, the villain was a made-up character. It's like somebody who worked under Robotnik. There was a black guy that ran some of the same equipment. Like, he was a made-up character. He was a fictional character. Yeah. I didn't even
I'm wondering if they're gonna keep that separate from the movies, or if it's gonna be connected to the movies.
They said it was going to be connected to it. This happened after the second film, this series. So the movie comes out December 20th. So I have plenty of time to go back and rewatch both movies and go back and rewatch this crappy series on Paramount Plus, which it upsetted me. Knuckles didn't do a lot of action. He was just like a sidekick. But I think it's the trailer. If you ever caught the trailer was great. The poster's badass. Sonic and Shadow running down a building with glass. Flying and lightning on one side and fire on the other. In fact, Shadow's motorcycle.
It's probably would be perfect for somebody having kids. Perfect movie to watch, because I know my kids watched the first 2 and they liked it.
Well, this movie's gonna remind you, if you ever played Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, or if you played Shadow's solo game, this is what this movie's gonna be like. The last film was more of Sonic the Hedgehog 2 / Sonic the Hedgehog 3 because and Sonic and Knuckles because Knuckles was featured in it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be exciting. And the same cast, crew, and everything. Jordan Kirby says college football and wrestling weekend. Let's go. Yep.
Yeah, we got a lot.
What's going on, Tim King?
TK.
And so stoked. Oh, by the way, you're in the league, right? We just did our fantasy draft with Game Breakers. I figured, what's you're in the league, huh?
I don't think I am.
You didn't participate in the draft an hour ago?
No.
Okay, well,
I think he forgot he said I was doing it, but then I think he forgot to send me stuff for it.
Well, I want to hear your take. I'm gonna just share. I know Freddy's in it. Freddy was gonna share his. I'll pull his up, but this is my team roster. Like, this is my as of right now. This is my starting lineup. Quarterback, I got CJ. Well, by the way, we're doing this with the Sleeper app. I'm playing fantasy football in Sleeper, not on Yahoo this year. This first time in forever. I'm not doing Yahoo. Basically, never joined the league. He said he sent it to you.
I never got it. I never got the link.
I got my starting lineup as of right now. I got CJ Stroud at quarterback, running backs David Montgomery and Najee Harris, wide receivers Deebo Samuel, Stephon Diggs. My starting tight ends George Kittle. My flex is Rome Odunze and Austin Eckler.
That's pretty good.
And my bench right now, Will Levis, Gus Edwards, Tyler Lockett, Mike Williams, Dallas Goedert, and Austin Knox.
Marcus took Stroud 1.
Yeah. I'm trying to win a championship. You never know if Tyreek Hill is going to have an impressive season. And Christian McCaffrey made the cover of Madden, so I definitely ain't. Every time I drafted fucking Christian McCaffrey, he got fucking hurt. The year I don't draft him, he had outstanding points and brought him to the Super Bowl. But when I saw he made the cover, I said, okay, I don't draft Christian McCaffrey this year. The curse.
Well, last year I drafted Jefferson. So,
Well, I thought the curse was broken. I thought Mahomes broke the fucking curse. I drafted Josh Allen last year, and look what the fuck happened last year.
Yeah.
So that's my roster. Let me see if I can pull Freddy's up. Freddy is in the league also. Fuck. You know what? Oh, right here, Team Freddy. All right, this is Freddy's roster here. His starting lineup, his quarterback is Lamar Jackson. His running backs, Bijan Robinson, Derrick Henry. Wide receivers, Jalen Waddle and DK Metcalf. His tight end is Dalton Schultz, and his flex is James Conner and Calvin Ridley.
Ridley's going to be the weak point of that.
And his bench is Jared Goff, Jerome Ford, Gabe Davis, Joshua Palmer, Tyler Conklin, and Kobe Parkinson.
Oh, pretty good.
Jordan took so many fucking people off my queue list. He took Jaden Daniels. He took Jamar Chase. And that's who my fantasy team name is after. I've won a championship as Chase Jam. And he took Travis Etienne.
Well, we don't know what's going to happen with Chase since he still hasn't signed. He's the only guy left that is holding out.
Yeah, because he wants more money, which, I mean.
And if they're not practicing on I don't know. Yeah, I don't think he's practicing, and that's usually not a good sign. Like with these guys like Ayuk, Lamb, and him, I'm always scared to take guys that hold out that late because they're not practicing during camp, and then you come in. You can be very good, very talented, one of the best in the league, but you're still missing those reps that get into shape, that football shape. There's being in great gym shape, and then there's football shape. And he's not in that. It's going to take him a month. And I almost don't want to waste 4 weeks of not using him that way.
Well, I'm actually waiting for Dylan to get in the comments. He wants to hear us talk about the European Championship that's about to start up. But while we wait for him to come in the comments, I wanted to bring up something. I mean, do you listen to country music?
Oh yeah, I listen to a lot. Yeah.
By the way, Post Malone's album F1 Trillion is actually very good. Shout out to Post Malone. It
Yeah,
dropped the same.
I went to a concert last month, so I definitely listen to country.
My sister's seen him 3 times, and I haven't seen him yet. But yeah, F1 Trillion's a kick-ass album. Well, if you knew, back in February, Toby Keith passed away from cancer. I think he was 62 years old. 2 months later, he was inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame. Well-deserved. And last night in Nashville, I think it must have been pre-recorded, because during the commercial breaks, they'd be like, coming up next, so-and-so singing so-and-so. So I figured it was already like done. They're just actually showing it live. They did it in Nashville at Bridgestone Arena. And you can, if you missed it, you can, it's streamed on Peacock. So if you missed it, you can stream on Peacock. All I got to say is it was an amazing show. I unfortunately missed the first hour because we preached and fucking preached and preached and preached on World League podcasts on prediction. So I haven't went back and rewatched the first hour, but like any big country's name you could think of was there, paying tribute to him and singing his songs. You know, like Jelly Roll was there, Parker McCollum closed out, Trace Atkins, Hardy, Brantley Gilbert, Luke Bryan, Lainey Wilson, Carrie Underwood. You know, all those big names were like there either to honor him or they were sitting in the crowd. They had a little section, looked like a bar, saying, you know, like, I love this bar. Everybody was drinking out of red Solo cups. And on the other side of the stage was his family there watching, his wife, his son, his daughter, his sister, his mom. You know, they were all there. Like, and it was an amazing tribute. And they showed like a never before video of him doing one of his final recordings he did with, I forgot who he did it with. I think he did it with Hardy or something. That never got released. Like, it was the last video of footage of him ever like recording a song in a studio, and you can tell he had like how he looked. Like, he looked rough, but he still had a singing voice and everything. But it was an amazing tribute show. And if you got some Toby Keith lovers out there, go check out his show, his tribute show, Toby Keith American Icon, on Peacock.
Yeah, I've been listening to a lot of country the last 2 years or so. Like, last month, I went to and saw Luke Bryan, Bailey Zimmerman, and Nate Smith. So, like, I like to dabble a lot into the new age country. I do like Jelly Roll, Hardy, Cole Swindell, all those guys, and
all those guys get a pass. All them guys can get a pass because they don't rap.
Yeah, I've always heard Toby Keith. I like him. I never got a chance to like fully listen to him, so I feel like I need to start listening to some of his stuff. But I'm definitely going to check out the tribute show that they had for him on Peacock. It sounds like it's something that's going to be up my wheelhouse.
Well, anyhow, yes, he's here. He's in through the World Elite YouTube channel. So, it was I think it was Tuesday. They revealed the Champions League. Like,
it was today. It was this morning. Yeah, it was this morning. They're doing Champions League was today. Europa League, they're doing the draw tomorrow.
Yeah, well, they call them pots. Like, there's 4 pots with 9 different clubs representing leagues all over Europe, from the Premier League to La Liga to Serie A to the Scottish Premiership, Bundesliga, like the league in France, the league in Russia.
They have 8 leagues, and the way they do it with the champions in the Europa League. With the champions, it's the first 4 teams in each league. So you got first place, second place, third place, and fourth place from each of the 8 leagues, and then Europa is 5, 6, 7, and 8 in each one. And with Atalanta, I think Atalanta finished 6th or 7th last year, but they won Europa. So when you win Europa, you're guaranteed a spot in Champions League.
Look, Jelly Roll gets a pass. Jelly Roll's basically all the above.
He was a rapper. Now he's in country.
He does rock too. Remember, he did a kick-ass rock song with Falling in Reverse. Post Malone like that too. Post Malone went from rap to pop. Now he's country. Which I rap
You're
country
starting
singer.
to see the genres blend with a lot of the artists now.
Yeah. Well, I have out of 3 different leagues, I have 3 clubs in this year's European Championship. I got Bayern from La Liga, not La Liga,
Bayern
from
Munich,
Bundesliga. From Bundesliga,
Bundesliga, yeah.
I got Barcelona from La Liga, and I got Celtic from Scottish Premiership.
Yeah,
And
and quite a bit of them play each other. Like Munich, they play PSG, Barcelona, Benfica, Shakhtar Donetsk, Dynamo, Feyenoord, which is in the Netherlands league, Bratislava, and Aston Villa. You got Celtic, which is on the bottom.
yeah, everyone plays 8. Everyone plays 8. Like Barcelona's playing Bayern, then they're playing Dortmund, Atalanta, Benfica, Young Boys, Red Star, Belgrade, Brest, and Monaco, and then Celtic is playing RB Leipzig, Dortmund, Club Brugge, Atalanta, Young Boys, Dynamo, Slovan, Bratislava, and Aston Villa. And then they haven't gave dates yet, but they each have 4 at home and 4 on the road, like throughout.
Yeah,
it's
a new format. It's a new format because they used to do. They would have kind of like the World Cup format where there's 4 teams. You play 3 at home, 3 away against the other 3 teams, and there'd be 8 groups, and the top 2 teams from each group would advance from points wise. Now they're doing this in this new format where you're really not in groups. You're just playing 7 teams. You're playing 7 different teams. You're only playing them once, and just like you said, there's 4 home, 4 away. So I'm interested to see how it works and how the fan bases are gonna take to it, because it's gonna take a little bit to get used to.
Yeah. Well, TK said Marcus said he wasn't a rapper. He's not anymore. He's just whatever this new genre of amazing is. Yeah. And then he says, I guess you're right. So,
yeah.
I mean, you said there's 8 different leagues. If you can pick someone from each league or if not, how about this? From each pot, can you make a prediction from each pot of who could win it all? So, like in pot 1, you got Real Madrid, Manchester City, Bayern, PSG, Liverpool, Milan, Dortmund, Leipzig, or Barcelona. If any of those 9 could win it all, who would it be?
That's tough, because I think the big thing here is Real Madrid is missing Jude Bellingham. Me and Dylan talked about this earlier today. He's an amazing player. He was the main catalyst to them winning last year, and he's out for a month. So I would normally say them, but they're not playing well right now, so I'm going to stay away from them. Oh, it's tough because it's so early in the season. You don't know how these teams are going to do. I'm going to go out on a limb here, though, and say I'm going to say Man City. I think right now, because I'm between them and Liverpool, but I don't know how Liverpool. They're playing great under the new manager, but I don't know how they're going to do when they get knee deep into the season, because you're playing your league schedule while at the same time playing this, and then playing the other league schedules that you have in England or whatever. Like, you're playing so many like World Cup formats at the same time. It takes a toll on you, especially when you're in the Premier League. But I feel like Man City is the one team that you can count on to being good. Like, Munich's good, but with the new coach, a couple new players in Bayern, I feel like Man City is right there to Bayern. And Dylan just said Jude will miss the first UCL game. They're going to have to schedule out on Saturday. So if he can come back and they have a win there, and then they get back to format, because Mbappe hasn't been playing well, I would put Real Madrid up at the top.
Yeah. Well, if I could just take a quick pick here, if I'm stuck on two here, and just out of this pot, I'd say either Bayern or even Inter Milan could win it
Yeah.
all if it was from that pot. Pot two, you got Leverkusen. How the fuck you say that?
Lever
Uh,
Bayer Leverkusen. Yes.
Bayer Leverkusen, Atletico Madrid, Atalanta, Juventud, Benfica, Arsenal,
Juventus.
Juventus, Ben,
Juventus, yeah.
uh, Benfica, Arsenal, Club Brugge, Shakhtar, Donetsk, and Milan. Which I'll take this one first. I'll either say Atalanta or Arsenal could win it out of this pot.
I'm like just like you said a couple teams that you like. My main team is in Europa, that's Tottenham, but the other two teams that I really like is Atalanta and Sporting Lisbon, aka Sporting CP. They're in pot three. They're in pot three. But in pot two, I like Arsenal or Bayer Leverkusen
They
because I
pronounce
like
it. One of their videos, they pronounced it Bayern, so I just kept calling it Bayern Munich.
it gets confusing because it's the same thing as Bayern Munich, but without the N.
Yeah.
It gets confusing, but I think with how Zaka is playing with Leverkusen, they're just going to pick up after how they did last year, where they eke out wins and whatnot. And I think it's between those two teams. The only issue with Arsenal is they always start out very hot, and then when you get to the end of like spring, that's when they start to cool down. So their only issue is being consistent.
Okay, pot three is like there's only one team I know in this pot, and it's mine, and that's probably the only one I'm gonna pick to win it. In this one is Celtic. They're on a hot streak, three consecutive Scottish Cups. They got a big test this weekend. They play the first of three matchups of Old Firm with the Rangers, which the
Yeah.
Rangers have been on a win hot streak too. I mean, I don't Young Boys, that's an unusual fucking football name, Young Boys. Oh, we're cheering
Young
for Young
boys.
Boys.
Yeah.
I've heard of like Lily, I've heard of Sporting CP, I've heard some good stuff about them. Dynamo, heard some good stuff about them. But I mean, I'm only gonna have to pick one out the pot. I'm gonna pick Celtic in pot three.
Celtic, yeah. And the Young Boys had a tough game to qualify because they qualified, but then they had to do the qualifying game, and they barely qualified last week. They had to play the qualifying game last week to get into the pot because usually more teams win, and then you chop it down to some of these lower level league teams that make it. Celtics good. Their issue is always going to be they don't play that tough of a schedule. It's always them and the Rangers, and then every other team in their league is it's like them two, and then the rest of them. It's always going to be a battle of them two. So they're not as battle tested, and then you see it when you get into like the Champions League and whatnot. Yeah. They do well, but they struggle to win the games. But I think that's why they're doing this new format because like. Celtic they play Leipzig, Dortmund, Club Brugge, Atalanta, Young Boys, Dynamo, Bratislava, Aston Villa. So they don't play the juggernaut teams like Leipzig is the one and Dortmund are the pot one. So if they can steal one of those, they have an easier chance this year than in years past. Yeah. I like Sporting. The Sporting has started out hot this year. The 3-0. They have 14 goals in the 3 games. They just put up a 6th spot in the last game. They're in the same league. It's them, Benfica, and FC Porto. They're in the same league as those teams. I feel like if there's a team out of the pot 3, it would be them. Or I think PSV. Because I think PSV is in the 3rd pot. Yeah. But I'm going to go with Sporting Lisbon.
The Young Boys thought that was a new New Japan thing. Okay, so now Celtic, there's only 2 undefeated teams left in Scottish Premiership. It's not them and the Rangers, it's them and Aberdeen. So like Aberdeen kind of like improved lately. Okay, pot 4, the only other team I think could be the one to win it all from there would be Monaco. Monaco's like one of those like big clubs in France, but if I pick a backup, I'd pick the one with the funniest name in this group. I'd pick Bologna from Italy.
Yeah. They have a good team. I like them, or like just like you said, Monaco, battle tested teams. I looked through this and then going back to pot pot 1. When you look at a team like PSG, you would have thought that they would have fell off after losing Kylian Mbappe and his brother. They lost both of them. They look better than they did with him. And that's hard to say with how good that they're playing this year. And you're going to see if these French teams step up to try and take that away, that spot from PSG, that first place spot. So, like, I could see like Monaco stepping up and Lille and whatnot. I want to see these teams step up and challenge them, because that's when the Champions League gets great, when you see these low-level teams challenge and fight their way up. Because we've seen, like, I like a team like Feyenoord. Like, they're a good team in the Dutch league that they're in, but you can only play as good as your competition. And that's why you're always going to have the Premier League and the La Liga team as the top 2. And then Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga league. But you're always going to have those top leagues always advancing far, because they have the best players in the best leagues that are competitive, because they play the most games.
All right, well, we'll make a couple soccer predictions before we do the rest with college football. Okay, we're only going to pick one in the Scottish Premier, the only rivalry game that matters. Old Firm, Celtic Rangers, Sunday, 6 a.m. at Celtic Park. Celtic remain undefeated, or do the Rangers give them their first loss?
Where's the game at?
Celtic Park.
I'm going with Celtic.
Yeah, Celtic wins. And they just picked up old boy from Barcelona. I guess he's going to be replacing Matt O'Reilly, taking Matt O'Reilly's spot. They picked up somebody from Barcelona. I'm trying to go back to my retweets so I can pronounce his name right. But Valle. He's Alex Valle, number 11. He's number 11. That's the guy they got from Barcelona, Alex Valle.
Okay. Yeah, I see it right here.
Let's see if I can pick something from the only games I'm going to predict from La Liga, or the only 2 teams that matter. I mean, Barcelona's taking on Valladolid at home, and Madrid is at home against Betis.
Well, Madrid played today.
Yeah, but
they tied 1-1 with Las Palmas, and then Barcelona plays on the first. No, Madrid plays Saturday on the first against Real Betis.
Yeah,
which is and then Barcelona doesn't play. Barcelona doesn't play until the 15th.
Well, I see them playing August 31st against Valladolid.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even see that because it was up top. Valladolid, yeah.
Valladolid.
They should win that one.
And Madrid's playing Betis, which Madrid should win that. They're at home. They're in that mega stadium they got. And then Bundesliga, Bayern's playing on Sunday. They're playing Freiburg at 10:30 a.m. They should win that. I mean, they had a hell of a game with Wolfsburg last week. That was my first time watching Bayern. Them Germans know how to get.
We got a big matchup on Saturday at 12:30. We got Leverkusen and Leipzig. RB.
I'm gonna pick. I'll take Leipzig. Leipzig. I don't know how you fucking say it. I'm picking
it's
them.
Leipzig. Yeah, Leverkusen is the home team, so I'm gonna go with them. I think they win 4-3.
All right, Dylan. If you're still in the comments, get my picks ready. We're about to predict the Premier League. First game, Arsenal Brighton. I'm picking Arsenal.
Yeah, I got Arsenal 4-2.
Brentford and Southampton. I'm gonna pick Southampton.
I'm gonna go with Brentford.
Everton and Bournemouth. I'm gonna say a draw, but if it ain't a draw, Everton would probably win it. But I'm gonna go with a draw.
I wouldn't be surprised if they drew, like you said, but I'm gonna say Bournemouth edges it out 1-0.
Ipswich and Fulham. I'm gonna go with Fulham.
Fulham, Ipswich hasn't played well to start the year. Of course, they don't have them as much money. They're the last team that was able to get promoted from last year from the first league, and I just think that Fulham has been more consistent. So I got Fulham 2-1.
Leicester and Aston Villa. This is gonna be another good
Leicester
one.
City.
Leicester City. Leicester City, whatever. It could go in a draw, but oh shit, I don't know who I'll pick Leicester.
I got Aston Villa 2-0.
Nottingham Forest and Wolves. Wolves might be the worst team in the Premier League.
They probably are, but I think this is a tie. I think
I'm gonna go at Nottingham Forest to win. Yeah. West Ham and Manchester City. That actually could be a game of the match of the week. I'm gonna go. Unfortunately, Man City. Fuck them, but I'm gonna pick Man City.
I got Man City 4-2. 4-3.
I'll tell you what being match of the week. A rivalry game. The Northwest London Derby, I think it's called, or the Battle of the Reds. Manchester United
Derby.
Yeah, Northwest Derby. Manchester United, Liverpool. Me and my brother are gonna be talking shit, and then all morning, and then we're gonna be friends. We're gonna love each other again when LSU kicks off. But he's a Liverpool guy. I'm a Manchester United guy. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool wins, but I'm sticking with the Red Devils. My Red Devils, glory, Man United. Let's go, Manchester United.
I don't know what about Man United this year, because Ten Hag came in and said, like, literally two nights before the first match, and said that his team wasn't ready for the year, and to have a big game like this, I think Liverpool wins 2-0.
Yeah. Let's say it's going to be a hell of a match. Chelsea and Crystal Palace. I don't know. That's two good clubs right there. I've seen Chelsea play Celtic in that friendly matchup at Notre Dame Stadium. Yeah. But I'm going to probably go with Crystal Palace.
This is tough because Chelsea went and put a 6th spot on over the weekend, but then today in the European Conference qualifier, which is under Europa League. It's Champions League, Europa League, and then it's the European Conference League. And Chelsea almost got eliminated today.
Wow.
So, but I think Chelsea edges it out 2-1.
All right. And then the final match, Newcastle, Tottenham. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to pick your club. Tottenham beats Newcastle. That could be a match of the week candidate, too.
It could, because we usually struggle against them, especially on the road at St. James Park. They usually play well against us on their own pitch, but I felt good with what I saw last week, putting up a 4th spot. We are holding our own with the possession. I think we could win 1-0. I think it's a game where we get a goal late, and then we get great goalie play from Vaccaro. So I got us.
All right. Now, save the best for last. College football's back. Week 0 was last week. I'm not going to lie. I mean, there was only like 9 total games. I've only watched 2. I watched probably the biggest one, the ACC matchup with Florida State and Georgia Tech. Seamus shocked us all. Seamus, the only one on the panel that picked Georgia Tech, and they won because of the.
He picked them because of the kicker too.
The kicker, is he from Ireland or something?
I think he's from Dublin.
Aiden Boyd nailed a 44-yarder with just 5 seconds left. Haynes King had a hell of a night. He threw for 146, rushed for 54. Jamal Haynes was the leading rusher. Check it out. I did an article for Game Breaker Sports Network about it. Florida State starting off 0-1 of the season, 0-1 in the ACC, and as number 10 in the nation, lost to an unranked team. So I don't know if the top 25 for week 1 just dropped. It should have dropped, but I want to see how far they dropped down. And now they got to go back in ACC play again week 1 against Boston College, which everyone's been shit talking Florida State after that upset. But let me go see what the top 25 is right now. So right now, 1 is Georgia, 2 Ohio State, 3 Oregon, 4 Texas, 5 Alabama. Well, no, they haven't even updated. It still shows.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to update it until after this weekend.
All right, well, never mind. I'm not even going to reveal it again. We all know it, but I was in shock. And I'll tell you what didn't surprise me. McNeese blowing a fucking game to Tarleton State. They had that game won. They had that transfer from Montana State.
It was on TV too.
It was on ESPNU, and he had 4 turnovers in the first half. I'm like, how do you go from playing at Montana State in the national championship and you're struggling down in my neck of the woods? Like, it's crazy.
We got to mention the 2 comebacks too. New Mexico loses to Montana State, the team that you just talked about. 35-31.
And SMU came back. Yeah, and SMU came back and beat Nevada.
That game was crazy. Yeah, that game was crazy because it was like 2 touchdown lead going into the 4th. They get that early. SMU gets the early touchdown, and then they get the other touchdown with under like a minute left. A minute. No, they get 3 touchdowns in the 4th because of how the scoring was. I think they were down like 17 or something. And it worked out in the thing. And then didn't Nevada move conferences, I believe?
No, I think they're still in the Mountain West.
Yeah, Mountain West. Oh, no. SMU is the one.
SMU's in the Big 12 now.
No, they're in the ACC. Yeah, they're the team that changed. That's what it was.
They went from, I think they were in Conference USA and they jumped to the ACC. They were either in Conference USA or they were in American. Travis Hunter scored his 3rd touchdown of the night. I'm watching Colorado and North Dakota State right now. Travis Hunter's having a hell of a night.
Minnesota's beating North Carolina 14-7. Coastal Carolina is put a whooping on Jacksonville State.
Yeah, I thought Jacksonville State. Jackson State's playing UL Monroe. So also this season's going to be so exciting because we got that 12-team bracket, which they revealed the rules. So when they do the bracketology, those rankings are going to be totally different compared to the top 25. The top 4 seeds will go to the Power 4 conference champions. So whichever ones are the highest, whoever's SEC, ACC, Big 10, and Big 12 conference champs, they're going to go by seeds. Like whoever's the highest seed in the top 25 will get that 1, 2, 3, 4. The 12th seed will go to the highest non-Big 4 conference champ. It could be the Conference USA champ, Sun Belt, American Athletic Conference champ, Mountain West, Big 10, MAC.
And then after that, it's going to get chaos because after the 4, the 5 through 12, it's almost like a wild card because you could be 2nd place and then host a game in the first round.
It's gonna be magic, and so they will still play some bowl games for the ones who don't make the playoffs. But the top 4 get a bye. If you're 5 through 12, the highest seeds will host a playoff game on their home field.
Like that. I do like the fact that you get that extra game on your home field. So it's like, the extra week of bragging rights. You get it. It's extra, and it's good for the university because because you're going to host the game, you're going to get the coverage, you're going to get the money from all the people coming to the game. Like it only helps out. And as a team that's going to play that week, you get that advantage of having that higher seed instead of being at a neutral one. But at the same time, and I'm thinking the first thing I think of with this whole thing is how are those first round? How are the first round teams going to do when they advance? Are they going to have the advantage of playing the week before now? Whereas the teams that have to bye, they're going to have like 2 or 3 weeks off where they don't play. Is that going to be a beneficial thing, having the extra week off or having the extra game?
But also, I like how they're still rotating the New Year's Six around. Like they will still with like how they did the original way with the semifinals. So the top four, the quarterfinals will be played at the 4 New Year's Six matchups. That's not going to be a semifinal, like if it was the original way. So this year, the college football playoff semifinals, I think, is the Rose Bowl, the Sugar Bowl, the Peach Bowl, and the Fiesta Bowl. The semifinals will be at the Orange Bowl and the Cotton Bowl, and then this year the national championships in Atlanta.
So where's the Rose Bowl going to be at?
Pasadena.
No, I mean, where is it going to be at in that format?
In a quarterfinal this year.
Okay.
Because see, that's how they did it. Last year the playoffs were at the Rose Bowl and the Sugar Bowl. Then they would rotate with the Cotton and the Orange, and then they'd rotate again with the Peach and the Fiesta Bowl. This year, the Cotton Bowl and the Orange Bowl are hosting semifinals. So Rose, Sugar, Peach, and the Fiesta Bowl will be quarterfinal games.
And we got to remember too, with the Rose Bowl, I was getting confused at what they were going to do with it starting this year, because you don't have the Pac-12 anymore, and it was always Pac-12 against the Big Ten in the Rose Bowl, because it always got played still, but then you had the playoff. But now if it's just primarily a playoff thing, that's not going to matter anymore.
Yeah. But I'm looking forward to it. And like this year, it's all going to be late. Like they're going to do the first round of the playoffs like the week before Christmas. The quarterfinals will be around New Year's. Semifinals the week after New Year's. They're going to play the national championship late in January. So I think they're going to play it like 2 weeks before the Super Bowl. And how's that also going to affect interfering with the NFL playoffs?
I don't think, because they're not going to play anywhere where it's going to be, and then they usually play on a Saturday compared to a Sunday.
Maybe some games could be a Friday. Yeah. Like they might play like one. You might be lucky to see at least 1 or 2 college football playoff games with the NFL playoffs going on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, because you're also going to remember the NFL plays an extra game, so it's like, and then now it's starting a little bit later, so it works out. I think. They did. The Super Bowl got moved towards the end of February. It's going to be the day before President's Day, so yeah, they'll probably start they're going to probably start the NFL playoffs right after after college football is done, and they'll probably get the ball rolling and whatnot. But I gotta say, so before we make any predictions for week 1, I want to get a couple of. I wanted to do a college football like a custom bracket, but I forgot to do that, so I'm probably gonna wait until Freddy comes back. But I will say, give me. Let's do some conference champion predictions. Let's start. Give me at least your top 3 or 4 teams that you think will win the conference. We'll start with the big one. Who do you think will win the SEC? Out of your top 4. Georgia. I got them. Alabama's going to be up there. My sleeper is Missouri. And then Texas.
All right, so I got Georgia winning the SEC. As backups, watch Ole Miss, watch Texas. You know what? Fucking hell of it. 4th, I'll put LSU 4th.
I was thinking about them, but I'm afraid because a lot of overturn, and then it's always hard replacing a Heisman quarterback.
Well, yeah, Garrett Nussmeier's got a lot of shoes to fill, but he's a decent QB. But I will say this: I've watched so many different predictions on how LSU season's going to go. Yeah. I've seen every one I've seen no more than 2 losses for LSU. There was a lot of predictions I saw. They only had one loss. No matter what, everybody picked LSU to lose to Ole Miss. Bama was back and forth. There was a lot that picked them to beat Alabama, and then there was a couple that picked them to lose to Alabama.
I'm saying, like, a lot of people are sleeping on Missouri. They only lost, was it 2 or 3 games last year? They won
the Cotton Bowl. They won the Cotton Bowl against Ohio State.
They won that. They're up 48-0 right now. They're only playing.
But they lost. They lost. Yeah, but they lost that running back. That bad motherfucker. He went to the NFL. I don't know where he got drafted to.
They lost the big legged kicker Mavis too.
Yeah.
But they have an easy schedule, and that's what I looked at. They play Buffalo, Boston College, Vanderbilt, A&M, UMass. They play Auburn at home. They play Alabama away, and then Oklahoma home.
Oklahoma's going to be a shit. Oklahoma's out of Texas and Oklahoma. Oklahoma's going to have the shittiest standout in their first year.
Well, when I look at the schedule, they don't play Georgia. They don't play LSU. They don't play like Florida. They don't play
Missouri. Oh yeah.
So I feel like they could be like that sleeper team that could get it.
If they can beat Alabama, then I'll put them in the SEC championship.
That's going to be the test game for them.
Yeah,
and they get that game at home. They're playing at Alabama.
They're playing in Bryant-Denny. All right, give me your top 4 to win the Big Ten.
The Big Ten. Ooh. Of course, you got to say Ohio State, Oregon. I'm still going to put Michigan in there because I feel like they should be up there. And then the last team, it's between 2 teams, USC and Penn State. But I'm going to say Southern Cal. And my team that I think is going to wind up winning it is Oregon.
I got Oregon winning the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Backups, I'll say Ohio State, unfortunately. Penn State. 4th, I'll put a dark horse. I'll put a former big dynasty once. I'll put Nebraska as a 4th. If they can get their head out of their ass. But I mean,
well, they've had 2 transfer quarterbacks, and they both aren't going to be the starter. So that's going to be. And then the actual starter himself.
I don't know about like Iowa. I don't think Michigan. Yeah. They're going to try and penalize Michigan so much now that Harbaugh's gone. They're going to do what they can to fuck their season over.
It's going to be Iowa could be another.
Iowa could be another sleeper too. Iowa could be another sleeper also.
Yeah, they always have good defenses. It's always with the quarterback play. But like I look at USC, you got Moss. You lose Caleb Williams, but then you had Moss, who in the bowl game had 6 touchdown passes. No, 5 touchdown passes there. He's taken over. You got that team. They did lose a couple of good pieces, but I feel like with them moving to the Big Ten, it remains to be seen how they play. But definitely like Oregon, who are bringing in a great quarterback, Gabriel, to replace Bo Nix. I think they're just the team on both sides of the ball that is going to be able to compete with everybody.
All right, give me your top 4 to win the Big 12.
Oh, this is going to be an interesting one here.
Oh, I'm going to go. As much as I love the SEC, I love the Big 12 also. I love UH, but I don't think UH is going to have that great of a season.
I got the front runner, which is I got the front runner, which is Utah. I got Arizona. Okay. I got, let's see, those are the 2 that I'm like, boom, boom, right away. The next 2, I'm like, I really am like, I'll go West Virginia. And the next team, see, this is the tough one. Because it's like every other team else is like, it's just all in a pack.
What about
I'm gonna go UCF.
Okay,
with KJ Jefferson transferring over from Arkansas.
So no Colorado because they're already struggling with
no.
North Dakota State, but everyone
They won
swore
for-
Colorado is
no.
going to be playoff contenders. They can barely beat North Dakota State, who's like this big powerhouse in the FCS. So
Their problem is going to be their last like 6 games are going to be tough.
Yeah. All right, so I got Utah as like the front runner up to win the Big 12. Backups, I got like I'll take the defending champs Oklahoma State. I'll throw them in there. I'll throw TCU in there. A fourth team. Oh shit, that's like I don't know if I want to throw in somebody new or do I want to throw a team like maybe like a Baylor, maybe like maybe an Arizona, maybe I don't know about Iowa State. I don't know how Iowa State's supposed to be. But for right now, I'll probably say Arizona as the fourth. One of them new faces.
I might even go out on a limb and say I think Arizona is going to win the conference.
All right. Well, one more because I'm only doing Power 4. We'll do the ACC. I will say the team I had to win the ACC. I'm having second thoughts now. So give me your top 4 to win the ACC.
I'm glad that I didn't pick them when I did that, but I didn't even have them in the top 4. I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna go Miami, even though I hope they lose to us Saturday, to Florida Saturday. I got Miami. I got. You see, there's teams I was looking at that are struggling today. See, this is tough because there's some new teams in the ACC. You know what? Miami, Virginia Tech, North Carolina, and I'll throw in Florida State because I don't want to keep them out because I still think that they're going to be hovering around that at the end of the year.
Well, I had Florida State winning it, so they lost to Georgia Tech week 0. Sup, Dango? I will tell you for a fact, I'll still keep them in there, but I don't think they're a heavy favorite no more. I'll put them like dead fourth to be a winner. I'll probably say like North Carolina will win the ACC.
It's going to be weird seeing these Atlantic Coast teams, and then you have all of these teams on the East Coast, and then you throw in Cal, you throw in a Texas team, and SMU, and then Stanford. It's like, come on now. That's going to make everything travel-wise crazy.
They need to rename some of these conferences. Like, don't call it the ACC no more. Call it something else. Don't call it the Big 10. It's the Big 16.
I think some of the teams just went to the wrong thing. Like, and then you got
It's all about money. It's all about NIL.
Yeah. It's all about that.
So I got North Carolina, Miami, NC State. Fourth team, I'll still say Florida State. Clemson's going to be shit. Pitt's going to be shit. Georgia Tech, I mean, they'll have a good season, but not good enough to win the ACC.
How do you?
Syracuse is shit. UConn's Big East.
How do you feel about Oregon State and Washington State?
Oh, I'm gonna go with Oregon. I'll take Oregon State in that Pac-2 or Pac-12, but I guess the rumors are false. They thought about.
Aren't they in Mountain West now? Yeah, or they're playing the Mountain West schedule. Yeah, because it doesn't show. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. It just shows the 2 teams, but I hate that because they're gonna be the Pac-2, but they're gonna play a Mountain West schedule. You know what they should do? They should just get rid of the Mountain West and add all those teams to the Pac-12. And make it the new Pac.
Well, they wanted to call it the Mountain Pac or whatever, or something like.
Yeah, just combine them. Why have these 2 teams just by themselves? Like, what are they going to do? And how is this going to affect them? Because they play a Mountain West schedule, but then the Pac-2. You should just combine them or make them 2 teams independents.
Well, when those 2 play each other, I don't know if it's going to be at the end of the season. I guess give them the conference trophy, but I'll say Oregon State wins the Pac-12. And independent, it's always Notre Dame. I'll stick with Notre Dame having the best record in the independent out of
they should
UMass, There's like three or four teams.
UMass, UConn, and I think
is it Navy or Army?
Not Navy. Navy's in the I think the AAC, and I think Army's in that too. On let me double check. I got everything right here. Navy is in the AAC. No, Army and Navy are in the AAC. They're the same things. So it's not them.
So
it depends. Here it is. UConn, UMass, and Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Yeah, since BYU isn't independent anymore.
And the BYU's in the Big 12.
Yep.
So anyhow, all right. Well, you could throw your predictions in. I got Freddy's predictions in mind. We're gonna only predict. I only like to predict. This is how I usually do it. I mainly predict Power 5 matchups. I'll predict matchups that are nationally televised or top 25 teams, which I didn't. This week, I decided not to put all the top 25 matchups because there's a lot of cupcake games. I'll wait till probably after week 2 to start adding top 25s in the list. But when it gets closer to like mainly conference matchups, then it's usually just Power 5 predictions, unless there's like a FCS battle that's like super big or something. But
I think we only have 2 matchups of teams. Oh wait, never mind. 3. I didn't see the one on Sunday. There's 3 matchups this week of ranked teams against the ranked teams.
Well, I only put 2 games on tonight, and they're going on right now. North Dakota State at Colorado. Freddie and I both picked Colorado, but it's a hell of a matchup.
It's 31-20, I believe, unless they just scored. No, 31-26 with 2 minutes left. So they're in the. What's going on, Kayla? How's your night going?
We don't give scores unless if it's our teams. Like I might give a score for LSU. Freddie would give a score for Michigan, but I got Colorado beating North Dakota State. He picked Colorado also, even though it's a struggle win right now. They're going back and forth with them, which I called it. I said it was going to be a nail biter. It wasn't going to be no blowout, but
very good game out of Sanders. But you expect that out of the pass happy Colorado team
with all that hype because of Coach Prime. Then North Carolina at Minnesota. I took North Carolina. Freddie picked Minnesota.
I picked Minnesota.
Last I saw, Minnesota was up 14-7.
It's 14-10.
Okay, 14-10. I just put back on. They got 2 minutes left. Colorado's up 31-26. They got the ball at the 25, so they must kicked it off.
And let me just say, talk about Utah. Cam Rising has 5 touchdowns tonight.
Wow. I saw Tulsa's beat the fuck out of Northwestern State from Natchitoches down up here.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I'll tell you, there's going to be a lot of cupcake games. Like Missouri's up 51-0 with Murray State. Arkansas beat Arkansas Pine Bluff 70-0. Kansas beat Lindenwood 48-3. See, I try to stay away from games like that. So Friday, I put 1 game down for Friday, the only one that matters. TCU at Stanford. I took TCU, and so did Freddy. What you got?
I got TCU.
Yeah, and then the rest are on the rest I'm going to say except the last 2 are on Saturday. I'll start with the big one. Or I don't know if you want to call it a big one. Clemson and Georgia, they're playing it in Atlanta. I think it's the Aflac kickoff game. They're playing it at Mercedes-Benz.
I got Georgia.
Georgia's going to fucking kill Clemson. Like, another big one. I think it could be a tight game. Penn State at West Virginia, and it's Big Ten crew's going to be there also.
Yeah, I got people that are going to the game. I'm going Penn State. That's going to be a tough game for West Virginia, even though they're going to be at home.
Yeah, as much as I would love for West Virginia to pull it off, it's not Penn State. Penn State's tough. Yeah. Virginia Tech at Vanderbilt. I had to put that on there. Oh, Freddie also picked Penn State. Virginia Tech and Vanderbilt.
Tech. V-Tech, easy.
Yeah, but it's in Nashville in that fucking stadium that's getting reconstructed. Just they'd be lucky it's not at Lane Stadium with Inner Sandman playing, which Colorado State at Texas.
Of course, Texas.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be a good game. It just depends on. I want to see how Quinn Ewers does with the new wide receivers because he lost both his receivers. I want to see what he does with his new guys because he was so used to throwing to those two, was it Johnson and Worley?
Mm-hmm.
And now he has to get acclimated with new guys.
So, always horns down, but Texas is going to win. Texas is going to beat the fuck out of Colorado State. Miami at Florida and SEC Nation will be in the swamp. Will be in Gainesville. Well, they're not going to be in the. I think they're on the campus, but it said they're going to be at Plaza of the Americas. That might be on campus. I never been to Gainesville, so it looks like it's on campus. So I've been to
it is. I have a buddy that has season. Oh no, he's going to the game. I mean, not season tickets.
So I got a question for you. Since you're a Florida Gator, you watch a lot of SEC football. Being in Jersey. That might be a dumb question. I mean,
it's at home. It's at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium.
Yeah, it's at the Swamp. Do you rather? I mean, this is the dumbest question ever. But do you rather College Game Day or SEC Nation?
College Game Day.
Yeah, but I mean, I'll watch SEC Nation during commercial breaks. I mean, I've been to a couple of SEC Nations when they come to LSU just to say, piss some friends off. Hey, I was 2 feet away from Tim Tebow or whatever.
And doesn't the SEC not have the 3 o'clock game anymore?
I don't know, but I wonder if it's the same crew. Like, is it Paul Feinbaum, Marcus Spears, Tim Tebow?
I think they're getting, it is.
Same guys? Yeah, because I've been to about 2 or 3 SEC Nation shows, but I've been to 3 college game days at LSU, 2 against Alabama, 1 against Florida. And so I've seen Lil Wayne as a guest picker, which I've seen him in concert too. I've seen Lil Wayne as a guest picker, Alex Bregman as a guest picker, and John Goodman for college game day. So I was at that Florida game when Joe Burrow and them fucking killed the Gators. That was my favorite game ever until I was at that Alabama win in overtime the same night the Astros won the World Series on November 5th, 2022. Greatest day of my life. So I'm picking Miami. I mean, y'all need to get rid of Billy Napier. Billy Napier ain't fucking shit.
No, he does a great job of recruiting guys. I don't believe in Graham Mertz as the quarterback. And we've always I think they need to go away from the athletic quarterback, the athlete, go for a quarterback that can throw. And of course, we lose Etienne to Georgia of all teams.
Yeah,
he transfers out, but I think we gained a lot of good recruits though, and of course we gained Titus O'Neill's son. He walked on to the team.
Yeah, Titus O'Neill's a former Gator.
Yeah, I don't think we win. I think we'll make a lot of improvements. I think we make a bowl game this year. This is going to be, if there was a chance to beat a team ranked, it would be this one week 1.
Well,
I just don't know how we're going to do because there's so many changes.
Well, I'm making a prediction here. If Florida loses 4 or 5 or more games, Billy Napier's gone.
Yeah.
Because
you can't have a program like that and then keep going backwards each year. Because at least before we were winning 8-9 games.
Mm-hmm. All right. I'll only put this game on the list for a reason because not only is it nationally televised, but it's the start of a good start for them until they play Georgia week 4. But I put Western Kentucky at Alabama. I know we're all. Oh, by the way, Freddy also picked the Florida Gators. So I picked Miami. He picked Florida. We both picked Alabama, but I called it. I said they're not going to be like they were with Nick Saban. I mean, if they get in the playoffs, they'll get in the playoffs as a wild card. I said they'll start the season 3-0. Their first 3 games, they got Western Kentucky at home, South Florida at home, and then they go to Wisconsin. But I think they beat Wisconsin on the road, and then week 4 they go to Georgia.
I think they could beat Georgia
at
They
night.
have.
At night in Athens, Georgia.
It just depends on how they do the first 3 weeks. But they have the talent there. They got the quarterback to do it.
They still got Jalen Milroe. That's the only lifesaver they got. But like I said, a lot of them transferred after Nick Saban left.
Yeah, I know. The biggest one went to Ohio State and Caleb Downs. I think that was the big loss there.
The big loss was him going.
When I look at it, when I look at that team, well, they're acting like they lost. That they gained a bad coach. They gained a very good coach in DeBauer,
from Washington.
Who were in the playoffs.
And they were in the national championship against Michigan.
Exactly. And he knows how to coach teams. It's just he's going from the West Coast to the East to the Southeast in Alabama, but that gives him even more tools than he had over in Washington. And he has better chances of recruiting. I think the first week or two, they could be a little wishy-washy, getting used to the new coach. It's not Nick Saban anymore. It's a different style. He changed everything up and whatnot. But I would say don't sleep on Alabama.
Well, I took them in this game. Like I said, I have them going 3-0, and then their first loss will be Georgia.
I'm telling you, I'm saying it now. Alabama's going to beat Georgia.
Okay. We'll see when week 4 comes. I'm going to be watching it. I hope, you know what? I hope it's an early game because that's the same night LSU plays UCLA, and I'm going to be in Tiger Stadium for that. So it will probably be a night game, so I'm probably going to have to watch
week 4. You said week 4, right?
Week 4, LSU plays UCLA.
I'm looking it up right now.
We have a night game.
That week is USC and Michigan. Damn.
I know. It's always the good games I'm missing, but
I think it's a late game because I don't see it right now.
Well,
no, where is it? No, that's yeah, it's TBD. So there's no thing for LSU.
I guarantee it's going to be. If it's not a night game, it'll probably be a 2:30 kickoff. But that way everybody can watch it. All right, College Game Day will be here for this one. They're going to College Station. Notre Dame at Texas A&M. I picked Notre Dame. Freddy picked the Irish also. I don't think A&M is going to be that good of a team like people think they will.
I'm going to go with Notre Dame to – it's just like there's a lot of unknowns with Texas A&M. You know, you got to see what they do. They're ranked high. They brought in some good talent from the transfer portal. It just takes time to come together. So I think they lose this one, but I think they're going to be good towards the end of the season.
Yeah. So that's across the board. All right. Fresno State at Michigan. I know Freddie's going to pick his team. I don't know what score he would have give, but the defending champs in the big house. I think it's a night game. Michigan's going to crush Fresno State.
We got a Hail Mary.
Yeah, Colorado just won 31-26.
Yep. He caught it at the 4 at least.
Yeah. I got Carolina.
But I got Michigan. With Michigan, it's always going to matter with how they do with quarterback. Like I don't think they're. I know Blake. They're going to miss him. Running back. They're going to miss all that running there, but they still keep. I think Edwards is still there, right?
Yeah, Donovan Edwards. Yeah. He was on the cover, and he's their running back. They got a new quarterback. I don't know if I think he's a sophomore or
Orgy. Yeah, and Orgy. Yeah, he's more of a athlete. Like difference from JJ McCarthy. Yeah. So I think you're going to see a little bit of a different style.
Yeah,
from him.
And week 2 out of the 3 cover athletes are playing each other. Texas and Michigan's week 2 in the big house. I can't wait to see Michigan fucking kill Texas. I think they're going to fucking decimate them. The fact that it's in Ann Arbor, they're going to decimate fucking Texas.
That's going to be nice.
And it's an 11 a.m. kickoff. So if I decide to go to the LSU Cupcake game, I'll be able to watch them before I leave to go to Baton Rouge. This is the final Saturday game on the list. New Mexico at Arizona. We both picked Arizona.
Oh yeah, Arizona. That's and before the whole season started, one of my Heisman front runners was Fafita. So
Oh, from Arizona.
yeah, with how he started did last year, I know a lot has changed.
I didn't even make like a Heisman watch list already. Maybe after week 1, because I want to see how guys like Donovan Edwards, Jalen Milroe, Quinn Ewers, hell, even Travis Hunter. I could put him on the list right now. He had a great performance, even though they played in an FCS school and had a struggle win. But I'm gonna have to tell Freddy that like each week we'll make like top 4 or top 6 in our Heisman watch. So. I'll put a sneak peek. I'll throw Travis Hunter in my list as of right now. I got 5 more to add in there after week 1. But Sunday night is only one game so big. It got its own day. Neutral site matchup. Only the 3rd total meeting. USC, LSU, Allegiant Stadium in Vegas. LSU is a super heavy favorite according to ESPN. They said Vegas is only 3 hours from LA, and they said
4.5 point favorite.
And LSU brought more fans. They said, and it don't surprise me, they said one airline ran out of alcohol because it was loaded with LSU fans. Wait, you thought the Saints going there for the Vegas's first game ever in that stadium was crazy? Well, I mean, I don't know how the fans were really there because of the fucking pandemic, but LSU fans are going to turn Vegas upside down. I got cousins, former boss of mine and his wife's there. One of my best friends and his wife is there. I said 2 years ago I was going to make a commitment to go, but I'm not there. And right now it don't look good for North Carolina. It looked like their season's already over. Somebody got carried off the field.
Yeah,
that was their quarterback.
Number 14.
That ain't 14. That ain't Max Johnson. Oh, it is Max Johnson. Oh my God, he transferred again. He went from LSU to A&M. Now he's at North Carolina. Oh my God! Holy up! I'm glad he went to A&M, fucked up. Now he went to Chapel. I mean, I love North Carolina in basketball. Go Tar Heels! But football, I mean, I've had love for them, but man, I'm gonna have to take North Carolina out the fucking ACC title picture if Max Johnson's out.
Well, he's out right now. He was only 12 for 19 for 71 yards.
Cart. I think he fucking tore his ACL. Fucking week fucking 1, folks. All right, we both picked LSU. Who you got? If I give a score, I think it's going to be like a 2-3 touchdown score. Like maybe
I'm going with the underdog. I'm going with the USC.
Okay.
I think Moss has a good game. And you don't have to worry about the time zone difference because they're playing in Vegas. So I don't think that's going to affect them. If they were going to say New Orleans and they were playing in the dome there as like a neutral game, this might be different. But you're out west where they're used to playing. They play a lot of games in Allegiant Stadium. They're used to that. I think LSU is going to be the team with more pressure in this game, and you got. Like you said, News Hour. Yeah, you got what's his name at quarterback for LSU. He had a good bowl game, but and Nussmeier. But I think USC is going to edge it out. I think it's going to be a late touchdown victory.
Well, I'm gonna say like 49-27. I'll give USC 27. 49-27 LSU. I think LSU scores a lot of points. And then the final game, Monday night on Labor Day, we get another ACC matchup, Boston College at Florida State. A lot of people are jumping on Boston College, but Freddie and I both picked Florida State.
I'm going to go Florida State. I'm going to regret doing it, but I'm going to go there. I think you can't start out 0-2.
Well, that will wrap it up for tonight. Thank you for filling in for Freddie on such short notice.
Anytime.
Yeah, well, I'll definitely have to bring you back on, especially when the NFL rolls around. I don't think Saints and the Eagles play each other this year? I'll have to look at the NFL schedule.
I'm looking right now. I think.
Yeah, week three.
Yeah, I was about to say I was pretty sure we did.
Look, I just remember the first two games. We open up with Carolina at home, and week 2 we go to Dallas. That's the only two I remembered. And then week 7 is the Broncos game. Me and my ex were supposed to go together, but I might still go just to see Drew Brees get put in the Saints Hall of Fame or Saints Ring of Honor and see Bo Nix play again and Sean Payton back in the dome. But
I might be going to week 2 Monday night against the Falcons. They are honoring Nick Foles.
Nice. So, well, you know what? I'm looking at 2 different games right now since I'm single again. If I don't go to the I'd like to go to the Broncos game just to see that moment.
Yeah.
I have to see how tickets are going to cost, but if I could pick any game this season I really want to go to, I want to go watch them play Jaden Daniels. I want to see Jaden Daniels as a fucking pro because he killed it in the preseason. He's now the QB1 for the Commanders. It's like the second to last. It's their last home game of the regular season, but it's like the week before Christmas. The week after Christmas, they're hosting the Commanders week 16 or 17. I have to pop it back up. But, yeah, that's like 2 games right there circled I want to go to. So, no, week 15, December 15th. So either week 7 against the Broncos Thursday night or week 15 against the Commanders. It's 2 Saints games I'm looking at right now. But
yeah, well, I gotta wait until later in the season for all these home games because we start at home because technically the Brazil games are home game, so they screw us out of that. And then we had the Falcons one, but then we play away by home with the Browns, and then away home, and it's like a back and forth. So if I don't go to the Falcons one, I'm gonna have to wait a while to get to a game towards the end of the season with how the schedule is.
Yeah. Well, that will do it for tonight. Thank you again for filling in for them. Where they can find you on social media.
Yeah, you can find me on X at CageIQ. I'm still using that. I do a lot of posting wrestling and MMA news. Both my shows are on hiatus right now because both my co-hosts are busy with just life and work and whatnot. So right now I'm only doing Tuesday night, the NXT watch along with Justin, and then Dojo debates for New Japan with Ivan, which we got that coming back next week. So just find me at CageIQ on X and IG, and just hit me up in the DMs if you want to talk.
Yeah. Well, thank you again for coming on. So Freddy will be back next week. We were supposed to do it on Tuesday, but shit happened and I moved it to tonight. So
yeah.
But I'm gonna try and keep it on that Wednesday slot. That way there will be no games going on, especially some we predicted. I like to try and get them before that NFL week starts on the Thursday. So majority of our shows will be on Tuesday nights. It depends. I might move them to Wednesdays. It depends if we record a live stream on World Elite on a Tuesday night, which we've done a few times, or we do it during Wednesdays during AEW like we did last night. So, I mean, that's Dylan's call there. I mean, we might hop it around, but we're going to try and start going weekly again. But all right, man. Well, this was fun. Thank y'all for tuning in. Hope you guys have a wonderful Labor Day weekend. If you got the day off on Monday, you deserve it. Enjoy all the college football you can watch this weekend, all the wrestling and anything else you plan on watching. Bakley, as always, I'll catch you in the chats. I'll catch you on another live stream, whatnot. I'll see you next. I'll see y'all. Take it easy.